Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to another Rage video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are at a very, very critical juncture on this journey to 1,000 videos. It is currently March the 12th of 2021, and this is the point where we shift into yet another gear. We are going to be doing more than ever before, and this is the point in the time where we go backwards in time somewhat. We go back to revisit groups that I've talked about plenty of before, but simply because I want to give you guys some context as to what my relationship was, or what I thought strongly of the groups that I've come to know since 2018. I want to share with you guys exactly what these groups mean to me, since for the first video we're going to be doing a very sort of like an unknown group called Methane, although they have their followers, and me in particular. And I've only really been listening to these guys for about a year, and there is a lot of things that impress me about them. In fact, you want to know how much they impress me about them? I'm going to do something a little bit interesting, so I'm going to go on to... here they are. 861 subs, and I just want to show you guys something very, very quickly. Let's see if I can find the right moment. There's a very, very specific sort of... Well, I think it's... Well, we'll see what Jim's got to say.
For some of the debauchery.
Oh, yeah.
And after that, then we come to California, San Diego, U.S. tour for Methane with our brothers in Incarnate, also awesome Swedish thrash band. We're going to play with I Don't Conform.
It's like about the 5-minute mark.
Click that button. I'm coming to the show.
Now, just before we get into talking about this, you have to understand that this was back in, I think, late 2019 when I was first introduced to these guys, and this is going to apply some much needed context as to why I chose Methane to come back to first. Why these guys?
I'm coming.
You're coming.
Tell your friends. Today, I contacted a guy on YouTube who does reactions, and I just left a message on his comments there. Do you take submissions from bands? And he started rattling off reactions to our stuff, and I got to tell you, this guy, there's no words for this guy.
Oh.
He is a king of reactions.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. I love him. I want to drink beer with this guy. I want to eat alligator.
Oh, yeah.
I want
as a quick side note, I've actually had the time in between when this video was first shot to actually taste alligator. It's like chicken. Then again, any meat can taste like chicken. Just depends who you ask to cook it. Even cat can taste like chicken if given enough effort.
It's just incredible. Now we're going to do our own reaction to his reactions.
So we're doing like a...
And let's see what comes up.
1 second.
And then we'll see what happens. Now, I never did this before. I've never seen this before. You ever seen this before? A reaction to a reaction.
To a reaction. This is a
No. Before
very
you
bizarre
guys watch
paradigm.
this, you have to have your sunglasses on. Just warning you now.
For your own
for
safety.
safety.
All right, let's look at it.
2, 1.
Hello, YouTube.
And basically, the rest is history. It may come as some surprise that just look at this set. They went to the effort to put my old logo in the corner. I'm pretty sure I still have those old glasses as well. I don't have those headphones anymore. The back wall is, well, basically, I moved from that side of the room to this side of the room. That's aesthetically the only difference. I've got the... There's a painting of St. Mark's Willingdon from date 1972 in the corner. I've also got a poster of The Wind Rises. Still haven't seen that movie. I've got the DVD, but I've not seen that movie, and I've wanted to see it since it came out in 2014, I think. I've still got all those books. I'm pretty sure I don't have that bottle of Lynx in the background anymore. And I don't know whether or not these guys actually still have a download of that video. I'm pretty sure this is Hang Me High, what I did. But that's where I wanted to start this video, by just referencing the fact that these guys, which, by the way, they went out of their own effort to do that for me. I don't even think I have the words to describe how thankful I am for this. And the disaster that my old channel went under is, well, it's a thing that happened in my life. I just have to learn to accept. I've had to learn to accept that for months and months. But that's kind of why I wanted to go back from the very beginning. That's why I wanted to start doing Methane from the beginning, because when you really think about it, we all have our very specific sort of like quirks, and we have our very intrigued to things that are kind of a bit, foreign to all of us. There could be bands that we retrospectively we all like and admire. Some people might list off maybe something like Code Orange or Mastodon. I mean, I've heard of those guys before. Or even Reaper, which is a group from Liverpool, and I've heard about them very casually, I suppose, but I've never actually listened to their stuff. A lot of groups from the northeast of England as well, which is my neck of the woods, if you haven't caught on, I suppose. But there's a lot of I get in contact with a lot of these groups, and I cannot wait to find out exactly what it is. And it's not stuff like Geordie or Lindisfarne or AC/DC I get in touch with. Well, if they were still a thing, well, AC/DC is, but you get the idea. So, what is it about Methane? I mean, I could have started with Megadeth, I could have done Slayer, I could have done Slipknot, I could have done a lot of groups. I could have done Rush, Kansas, Nightwish, Sonata Arctica, Epica. Listen, if you are familiar with my old channel, you will know that there are lots and lots of groups I like. Some of them I think of as like Kindred. Overkill is probably almost the very top of the list as well. But let me demonstrate to you exactly what Methane has that makes me want to come back to them first. What can I say? It's almost as if like we've never went away, and I am parched to start this. So this has been a very long time coming. I mean, this video is going on for a while, so let's just shut up and drink, as they say. So, blood, sweat, and beer. In 3, 2, 1, and... Like, what can you even describe that noise? It sounds like hornets inside of a motorcycle engine. That is, it's a pre-taste. It's an appetizer for what carnage is about to be unleashed. And also, if you know anything at all about this channel, you know I might get carried away with hyperbole and twisting my tongue with almost any word I can possibly think of in the English dictionary. Well, why not? Who else is going to do it? for it. I'm putting that back again. That is like, that's almost like hitting the G spot for me. That's one of the things that really stands out for me is all of a sudden they play something that is they go like really it starts off like gravelly, a bit rough around the edges, and then you take one extra bite and then you're in paradise.
blood, sweat, and blood. Sweat. Beer. It's Friday night time for blood, sweat, and beer.
Now, just in case, I seem to have like given off like the wrong impression already. That is just, oh god, how, that is just like it almost ticks every box that something I really look forward to. It's just something that delivers something very, very different. And realistically, this was like my first real exposure to what's referred to as like groove metal. I know there is one song in particular which I will cover called Stone Garden, which I would probably do Stone Garden last because I think that is the best song I think these guys have done. But that being said, Blood, Sweat and Beer it appeals to back when I talked about Methane for the first time, I compared them a lot to Texans, as in these would be guys who would be riding around on horses in the morning, grazing as much cattle as you could possibly graze in a field. Probably, oh god, fuck me, if it's not riding horses, it's riding the most beautiful Harley Davidsons in the world, or wearing about as much leather as possible, smelling like goodness, smelling like a working man does, and with his mind literally full of like three things: their look, their Harley Davidsons, and getting as much booze down them as possible. And this is why I will make it my mission in life. If I ever go to Texas, I am going to find a bar somewhere where you have to have like a leather wear minimum. You know, no jerkins, no jacket, no service, that sort of thing. And I am going to buy the guy on my left a beer for no other reason than just to fit in. Because I feel like, call it a fashion thing, but people who wear almost the same clothing in a confined space, they are are they sort of like more drawn towards each other just because you can recognize them as sort of like being part of the same group? I mean, I don't think this is really the same for women as well, but actually, while we're on the subject of women, all I'm saying right now is that you could imagine the whole biker look, the look of someone who from Sons of Anarchy, wearing. I actually have almost a full motorcycle sort of attire in my closet over there. It's everything except maybe something protect my arse and maybe possibly a helmet, but I've got pretty much all that attire I need. Maybe because I sort of like kind of want to own them. This song, Methane, makes me want to own a motorcycle. I want to be George Thorogood and all of his destroyers. And also, now, to be fair, I don't particularly think that there would be many motorheads out there who would be kind of interested in wearing, shades as very unique as this. But then again, there are some very strange people on this earth already. I'm pretty sure there's going to be at least one or two motorheads out there that are a little bit tempted to see what this is all about or why I've decided to even wear these at all. It's going to happen. Some point it is. To be fair, it already kind of has. So, back to when they get into that G zone, as I'm going to call it, the first thing that goes through my mind is that some smoking hot babes arrive, wielding an enormous tray of the most stunning barbecue meats in the world. Steaks, porterhouse, rump steak, yes, we know what we're talking about, ribs, and even more beer. And it's an all-out war. The sauce as well. Just this. I'm supposed to be on a sobriety from meat for 40 days. I cannot think of anything worse than bringing something like that up, because I just want to. This song makes me almost drool with just wanting to go out there, kilted up to the nines in leather, and literally hung down on the biggest pile of meat that I can find. Not a euphemism, by the way. Dripping in sauce. Again, not a euphemism. But then that is the power of music, ladies and gentlemen, is that it can bring some of the most archaic, some of the most beautiful, some of the most freakiest ideas into the forefront. And I don't particularly think that's a bad thing to do. And you know what? When you come to say stuff like that, you begin to admit to almost the whole world exactly who you are and what you're all about. And at heart, what I'm all about is an honest working class man and enjoying what I can only assume to be this bizarre fantasy of guys, motorcyclists, and everything that accompanies them. In fact, you could even argue Blood, Sweat and Beer is almost a direct metaphor for if you're going to go out one night and watch an ECW show or maybe a CCW show. It's one big family, as the Sandman, Tommy Dreamer, Sabu, Rob Van Dam, Shane Douglas, Terry Funk, Mick Foley, New Jack, Mustafa Saeed. God, who else can I think of? Francine. Yeah, I can definitely say Francine. Just Incredible. Trust me, like the list goes. Joey Styles, Taz. The list literally just goes on. Balls Mahoney, Axel Rotten, the Dudley Boys, Spike Dudley. Oh God, I'm just like I'm going off names now from ECW and all that, but that is the antithesis of an ECW show, in my opinion. Blood, sweat, and beer, and quite possibly New Jack beating somebody half to death with a gun, a taser, a baseball bat, stapler. The list goes on if you've known anything at all about New Jack. Awesome dude. I'm just saying that. But oh my god, don't give him anything that he can turn into a weapon, because he will. Definitely. Now, just to end this video, in the only way I know how, I do not care at all about my sobriety from alcohol. I'm not the designated drinker, nor am I planning to go anywhere. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do, boys. I only bring this out because I know the boys are familiar with this beverage. For those who know, would say they're familiar about this beverage. It's not quite beer, but you know what? It's alcoholic, so you know what? It'll do the job just fine. So, boys, I hope this video was satisfactory enough. I hope this revitalizes some life in the old dog yet. And now I'm about to have some of its hair. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Go get yourself a can, a glass. Go find something, and on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. And, ladies and gentlemen, I raise my glass, and I'll drink to that. Take care.